We have another package, and I think I know what this one is, so let's open it together. I guess we have to open the cardboard box as well, huh? Ooh. Barware. We obviously know Barware really well. They're one of the best friends of the channel. We've worked with them loads of times and made some amazing builds. And I honestly can't recommend them enough. They have some of the best alternate Lego in the game. You know, they've got loads of great mock designs and even, you know, Lego recreations. So I'm really interested to see what they've sent today, and it should definitely be a fun one. Honestly, I'll talk more about Barware near the end, but thank you so much to them for sending this over. And I've got so much more Barware stuff coming out as well soon. So, you know, they're definitely a great company that I love to work with. So stay tuned for that too. Obviously, they send their customary Barware sticker with all their builds, which we know and love. We have a few of these. I can't wait to find somewhere to actually display them. I think I might give them like some kind of city space eventually with a specially shown thing. But look at what we've got here. We can see right now a green base plate. We take this out and a bunch of bags. This will be interesting. Let's open this up and see what's inside. So all the bags are really nicely wrapped. The material feels really good. However, it looks like the bags are not numbered on this occasion. Now we do have a lot of interesting colours in here. Yeah, honestly, just a bunch of different bags. Some really great colours, I've got to say. And here's our ever so trusty base plate as we know it. All this stuff, but it's looking like we're not going to get an instruction manual this time. So it looks like it will be online, which isn't too big of a problem at all. It just obviously doesn't include it, which is always nice to have. But yeah, we've got, I mean, it's a weird amount of parts here. I'll show you what I think this is meant to be. So here is what the build is going to be today. Now I'm really excited to build this. It's a really gorgeous build. It's obviously modular formatted. And it's totally different to anything we'd normally build. It's a complete mock, and that excites me, you know, something that I've never seen anyone else have in their city, you know, almost a BallisticBricks exclusive, if you will. And Barware have obviously brought that. Now Barware are coming out with a bunch of new modulars, and hopefully I'll get to work with them for a really long time and get to review loads of these and build a bunch and really populate the city, because they'll go perfect, you know, and that's why I love Barware as a brand. They've got a great line of different things, and their sister site Youmko also help to do this, loads of custom mock stuff. So they're both great websites, they work hand in hand, and they're both really solid. It's obviously a shame about not having the number of bags, however, you kind of expect it on a mock build because, you know, a creator doesn't have bags designs, you know, they just kind of build the set and that's the pieces you get. So I can understand why there isn't number bags today, so I'm not too annoyed at it. Obviously, as we know, we're starting to Mills plate now, so what we're gonna have to do is actually Mills plate this green tile. Now, luckily, I do think I've got the spare materials lying around for this. So this is a street corner shop modular building. It's basically 2 stories with a shop and restaurant on the first floor, while it has an apartment on the second floor, which is kind of what Lego have been doing with their modulars too. This one's going to contain 3,281 pieces. Pretty good size for a modular too. Now those bags, it doesn't actually look like that many bags, so I'm interested to see, you know, how the pieces will spread out, because like I say, like there is obviously a fair amount of bags, but I bought a lot of modulars, and you know, compared to some others, I'm hoping there's no missing bags or anything like that, but I doubt there is. And I'm so sorry because I'm going to get this completely wrong, but the set has been designed by Luca Pedralia. And it looks like he actually posted this modular mark on the 8th of December, which is my birthday. So this is obviously a really great way, you know, to build mocks and modulars that you can add to your city for a really cheap price, which is what I love about Barware. The fact that you can get, you know, sets that you wouldn't normally be able to get for great prices to expand your collection while not breaking the bank. Again, I'm hoping for some really big stuff with Barware in the coming year, and I know the city is going to greatly benefit because of this. So, you know, I can't wait to keep making this stuff. It's a bit hard to talk about this stuff though, because obviously we don't really know what there is. It's, you know, we've kind of dissected everything there is already in terms of, you know, the bags are there, you know, there's no numbered bags, but that's what it is. The instruction manual will be available online on the Youmko website, and, you know, the base plate's there already. So what we'll do first is probably Mills plate the base plate, because that's something we have to do now because we're Mills plating, yeah! And then once we've done that, we'll have to break down the pieces. So let's first Mills plate. Okay, so I've now built the nose plate. Let's take that off. Now I've tried to like kind of colour match it a bit. It's not perfect, but listen, you know, we're building the fake bricks that we got in the Home Bargains video. So it's just using the colours that we have, trying to make it look nice. Now I've used the green for like kind of the front of it, you know, just to match with the base plates. But it's no big deal anyway. You know, in the grand scheme of things, it probably won't get seen, as we'll have roads covering everything and other buildings. And on the computer, we have the PDF of the instructions, which obviously we're going to need, as that's where Barware like to keep their instructions now. So looks like it should be, I wouldn't go as far to say a straightforward build, but hopefully a nice easy one to do, even if it does take a bit of time. We've got 311 pages, we've got 461 actual instructions to make what we can see here, and it looks really good, doesn't it? So honestly, something different on the channel. We've never built a full mock like thing like this before, whole modular, so it's completely different, completely new for us. But yeah, we're gonna have to separate all the pieces now, which may take a while. Right guys, and it is now the next day, and we've sorted all the pieces, so I'll show you what we're looking at right now. Obviously, this is our building table here. Now, we've tried to sort by colour and piece where we can, but it is very jumbled together. We've got our nose plate here. Now, we've also had to use the box for some of the spare pieces, as the table is getting quite full. And even on top of that, as you can see, this bottom drawer is full with some of the smaller pieces in the set. And if we move this in, not the best of drawers, we also have a full drawer here. So quite a lot of pieces. That's what 3,000 pieces looks like when you've got it all scattered out like this. However, I'm sure it's going to make for a fantastic build, and I'm really excited to get into it. So let's start building on this. And after all that building, I have now officially done it, and I can't wait to show this off to you guys. It's a really interesting set, and I'm interested to see what you guys are going to think of it, because I've got a lot of opinions. So here it is. This is the whole set. It looks gorgeous. I mean, the colours of the white and the light blue go together so well. I'm really impressed with that. I think the bottom really like makes it pop as well. I love the top here. We'll look at that more in depth in a minute. And again, we go over to this side. We have this big tree here and kind of like some seating area. We've got the lamppost. All really nice. It really brings together the life of this set. We'll quickly show you the back of it, just to show you the colours we're working with. And yeah, pretty nice colours on the back as well. I know sometimes that's a problem with some people. This isn't a problem here. And it does have the pins as well, in case you want to connect it to something else later on down the line. And I've got to say, a pretty nice build. It's a bit of a weird one in the sense that I don't know if you design it to have as a corner modular, because the sidewalk does wrap all the way around. However, I'll show you what I'm thinking of doing, and it involves the Ghostbusters HQ later on. But let's break down some of the more details of this set, where it went right, and maybe some places where it could have done better. And I want to show you guys the roof as well here, because the detail in the roof is really nice, and I think it kind of brings together the set in an interesting way that I didn't expect it to. The whole set, the way it went together was a little bit strange in the sense that sometimes, like I remember there's a bit here where you kind of was building it and they'd have some pieces loose, and it was like that for a lot of the set, where you'd have some pieces loose, but later on they'd come together and then it would get built properly, which wasn't the biggest issue, but it's just something to make note of there, which would make the set a little bit harder to build. However, I didn't really have any major issues with the main build here. All the main build went really well. Now, where I had a lot of the issues was this tree. Now, this isn't what the tree is actually meant to look like. So you can kind of see that maybe it's missing a bit at the top there. It's meant to connect to the building down there. Now, we actually do have a lot of spare pieces here, but the tree was so difficult to build that a lot of it couldn't even go on, and like all of this fell off, and I literally couldn't. I spent hours trying to get it together, and it just would not like properly go. So this is kind of the best I could do, but it still does look really good. And if you didn't know that there was meant to be more tree, I think it still looks really good. It is just obviously, it was really annoying going through that process of having so much issues with the tree in the first place. We also had two of these little flower things break. We had both had on two of them, these little green things just plop off, which was slightly annoying, but I'm sure that's not any, it's more to do with how I've handled it, because they are quite fragile pieces. We also get a very generous amount of spare parts here where there's an interesting collection and a lot of it can be reused for actual builds. We've not just got the smaller pieces in this build, we've got some of the bigger pieces as well, especially like this. It does make you worry, have I missed anything? But I definitely haven't. So it's cool to get some more extra pieces like this. And obviously we get kind of the spare pieces from this where it's not gone right too, but obviously you don't want that in the set. Now, something I think is really important to note, and it might be a deal breaker to some people, is the fact that this doesn't have an inside. If I look through the windows, you can see it is all just plated off. I'm not sure how, Jesus Christ, that's blurry. Not the most clear, and if you look downstairs. So when it said like there was a shop and all that, on a restaurant, and then like a studio apartment on the second floor, that's, well, it's not true. Like, you can decorate it yourself, but it's an interesting one. But I personally don't care too much for interiors and modulars. I love them. I think it's great. However, sometimes, you know, I'm trying to get loads of videos out and I don't often go back and look at the interiors of my modulars. So it's not a deal breaker to me. I care more about the outside of modulars, what they look like, you know, exterior even. So I'm pretty happy with this. I mean, I think the build looks really good. Now, I definitely think this is one of my more interesting modulars because I really don't have anything like this, and I've never really seen anything like this from any other creator either. So I'm really thankful to Barway for the experience of getting to build something completely different, something that doesn't replicate anything else I know, and just a true mock design. And I think it does look good from all angles. I was worried it was only going to look good from one angle at first, but as you build it up, you can see it does look good from all of the sides you can see it from, apart from maybe the back, which you wouldn't display it from anyway. But I'm really happy with this, and it is the first ever modular build that I've mills plated before I've built it. And I think a lot with these mocks, sometimes the designers, obviously they're not real Lego designers, so it's important maybe to mills plate it and get that extra sturdiness in some places, as you know, all the kinks haven't been ironed out as much. But I've got to say, I mean, just look at this, it looks incredible. It's a really gorgeous set, the colours really complement each other, and like I say, we really don't have anything like this. It is truly a one-of-a-kind build that we will have in the city, and I can't wait to like decide where to put it. Now, what I'm thinking is, and I might go and show you guys this in a minute, is that it will maybe fit perfectly with the Ghostbusters build, as they both kind of have the sidewalks going all throughout. So that's kind of what I'm roughly thinking firstly, because again, a bit difficult when it is kind of going round the sidewalk like that, but it's an interesting challenge. And I've got to say, this whole build, I wouldn't say it was a full challenge, but I definitely say I have a lot of comments from people saying they'd like to have their own kind of challenge, and they like some of the alternate stuff because it proposes more of a challenge than the real Lego stuff. And I definitely say this is a great mixture of being able to build but also being a challenge, and especially with the tree. The tree was a big challenge, and not, to me, not a good one, but to someone who has more time, more patience, it's definitely something that they could probably do. It's just something where every bit of it kind of relies on another bit, and then once you build on top of that, there's even more, you know, troubles for me. So the tree for me isn't perfect, but it's still there, you know, as long as that doesn't fall apart now, I'm happy with it looking like that, even though we are missing a few pieces, which isn't the most ideal. I'm happy with it, and I think it does look good. Like I say, Millsing has made a big difference because I can now literally just pick it up and take it to my Lego room without having to like set aside a whole day to try and balance it over. So I think we're going to go in there now and kind of test things out. Right, so we've moved this into here, the Lego room, and you guys haven't maybe seen the Lego room for a while since we've kind of took everything apart. Most of it is under there. However, everything we've started to Mills plate, and I guess the recent Paris build, is going over to this side. So one by one, we are making progress, and you may recognise some of the builds as recent Mills plating, especially if you're a member, but we'll get more into that soon. Yeah, bit of mess on the table right now, just as we're moving things around finally. Just move all of this for now, just so we can kind of conduct our experiment. Got all these row plates as well, wow. So in our proposed idea, we have the Ghostbusters set here, and then you can kind of carry it on over to this build here. Now there is a little issue about that as well, which I didn't even realise this, but the Ghostbusters obviously has its divots in the back, which really makes things hard to connect to. I can see why people don't love the Ghostbusters HQ and they're making cities. However, the connection isn't too bad. I mean, the gap there isn't too big, but obviously small margins like that really matter in the city. And from the other side, I mean, I really like that connection. It's very New York-y, the way that we've got the big tree that kind of connects to the city, the Ghostbusters HQ. Look at me, here I am. And I think the build looks good. They do connect well. I don't know how practical it's going to be with the fact that... Uh-oh, just broke the lamppost. With the fact that... obviously, the Ghostbusters does have divots in. So will that be something we're able to do? Because like I say, these small margins is kind of what makes up the city and affects things long term. So obviously this is what we're working with right now as we start to Mills plate all the builds. I can still see this Daily Bugle, which I'm going to hate to Mills plate. It's going to be so annoying, and I'm really scared that it's all going to come tumbling down. But we'll try our best anyway. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. This was a review of this absolutely gorgeous set. We'll grab it now. And I've got to say, I was so impressed with this one. Barway have done another really great job at bringing out kind of a unique design and something that you'd never really get to see before by, you know, really having the MOC community be part of this. This is definitely BallisticBricks approved. And I can't recommend looking through their MOC collection enough. And I hopefully will have more stuff coming out with them as they release more and more MOC modulars that I can eventually fill the city with. And obviously then, you know, have more stuff going on. Like I say, this is a massive year for the channel and especially the city, because we are going to put so much focus into this between Mills plating everything and Mills plating the roads and coming up with a new layout and hopefully having some levels. So if you guys don't want to miss that, I definitely recommend trying to stick around through and subscribe. And if you guys are really interested in specifically the city progress, then we have a whole series on members only where I will be going through and Mills plating all my different modulars. So if you want to see how this Daily Bugle turns out, that's where you want to be. But guys, again, thank you so much for watching. I've been BallisticBricks and I'm over the moon with this build. Thank you so much for watching and I'll see you next time. Bye!